Korotory, Chapter 3, The Conquering. Hey, we talked about these guys before. Yeah, back on the Underground. It's been a long time since I've done one of those. I probably should try to get back in it, but let's face it, it's been crazy. It always seems to be crazy. Sometimes I think I bite off a little bit more than I can chew. These guys, though, they've been a long-running metal band that's probably been underneath your thumb and underneath your nose for a very, very long time. And these guys out of New York are a pretty good example of what underground can actually do for you. This is a band that doesn't necessarily need to have 20 billion fans in order to get their message out to the people, and do it in a way that is very, very heavy, very, very brutal, and has just a fantastic sense of, well, what's wrong with society. One of those things that just sort of really beams out on this album, and one of the things that actually really showcases itself all the more, are the lyrics that this album is really able to boast. Now, for those of you who missed the On the Underground video, it's been a long time. These guys kind of have a bit of a Pantera type feel to them, only with a little bit more of a modern influence. They definitely have some production that's, you know, a little bit on the lower end. However, for these guys, this album sounds better than Godless America that I reviewed a couple of years ago. So the production is definitely stepping up, and because of that, they've been able to add some handy tricks. A couple of different clips, not to mention they've been able to expand their horizons a little bit more. There are definitely some more growls on this record. There is a lot more aggression with the guitar work. You know, they're able to do a little bit more of the creativity that perhaps they've always had swimming around their gene pool, that they've always really wanted to showcase, you know, on each and every release, but maybe just haven't always had the capability to do so. There's an excellent solo that's on here with Probing the Nether that I really enjoy. And not to mention, the song Dehumanization is something that really kind of geared me up to a most recent Facebook post about how society kind of has things warped. You know, it's kind of interesting. These are guys that are viewing this world from, I guess, as far as the music community is concerned, as somebody from the bottom who's kind of looking up and kind of has that exploratory freedom where they're able to say exactly how they feel, and it doesn't really matter if it's something that, you know, a lot of people agree or disagree with, because they're not looking to make friends. They're not looking to make compromises. They're not looking to sit back and kind of quest for your approval. They're actually here to try to rock your face off, basically kick your ass, and try to bring a little bit of this reality out with their lyrics. And they're able to do that a lot on this album. Songs such as Spineless and Conquering the Swine prove that. Dehumanization is another one that I mentioned before, but it's very true. Sanctified. Really, this 9-track, almost 30-minute long album are full of moments such as this. Now, some people may actually think that this is all done in some sort of macho fashion. It's almost like being on this outside, not really an outside-looking-in type idea, but instead somebody who's right in the middle of the fury, attempting to kick their ass and kick their way out, basically, of the problem and try to stir up awareness through violence. And it's really not 100% what's going on here. It's actually trying to showcase the fact that these guys are willing to go through any barrier that is required in order to get where they want to be. And in order to try to actually, you know, let people know what the fuck is going on. You know, wake up and smell the goddamn coffee. As far as the music is concerned, I like the evolution between Godless America and Chapter 3. I really think that they've been able to add a lot of tools to their playbook. I think that the production upping has definitely come to their advantage and definitely helped them showcase a lot. And not to mention, they've taken their time with this record. This is only their 3rd record, and they've been doing this for quite some time. However, this is an album that they definitely worked tediously on. It's one where they wanted to make sure all of the tones and all of the messages that they were aiming to really perform and put out there were just right. And I definitely think that they got it right with this one. I really enjoy the fact that whenever I listen to this, I feel sometimes like I'm listening to, you know, a little bit of thrash metal, I'm listening to a little bit of groove, and there's even some points in time where I could even throw in some, you know, very light death metal into the mix as well. And sometimes the vocals actually do represent that. The vocals are the only point where I'm kind of, you know, still a little bit iffy about. And that's not necessarily a knock to these guys. And the main reason for that is because these are supposed to sound rugged. They're supposed to sound rough. They're supposed to sound raw. There is a certain level of, you know, I guess, non-polished nature to these vocals that is really by design. It's really meant to showcase the fact that this is reality, sort of speaking, as opposed to somebody who sounds larger than life. This is somebody who is the everyman, who is raising up his voice and speaking and proclaiming these messages. And because of that, that rough, unpolished exterior really does work for this album. If you have the opportunity to check these guys out, they are very, very easy to find on Facebook, Korotory Official. They are extremely, extremely easy to find here on YouTube by the same name. It is, Korotory is just one of these bands that really does enjoy talking with the people. They have, they got me an advanced release of this album, and I'm very happy that they were able to do that for me, and I only apologize that it's taken quite a number of emails and, attempted downloads in order for it to finally, actually come into my possession. We've had some problems on the communication front as far as the attachments have been concerned. So finally, I've gotten the opportunity to actually listen to this and review it, and I've really liked what I've heard. So, guys, I have to say, you guys continue to kick ass. You're continuing to do this right. You're continuing to really be a benchmark for underground metal and underground music, and you're continuing to work hard. Those are all things that you need in a band. If you really want to see and hear really what Evolution does, listen to these guys, listen to their material from their inception to right now. You're going to notice a couple of things. You're going to definitely notice a lot of growing up in their sound. You're going to notice a lot of those parlor tricks that, you wouldn't necessarily hear on an early release. You're going to notice how the production has definitely upped itself and how these guys have really been able to morph themselves into a tremendous band. And not to mention, I'm almost positive from what I hear that these guys are a beast of a band live. So these are definitely trailblazers of underground metal that have been at it for a long time, and you know what? This is a band that definitely deserves a lot of appreciation. This is not necessarily something that's going to be for everybody. This is not necessarily something for those people who have a desire for everything to sound perfect. And that's the reason why I think a lot of people may shrug this band off or seem that they, kind of look at them as though they are inferior to others, which really isn't the case. There's a lot of people out there that understand exactly what this is all about. You can tell by their numbers. However, for those who are naysayers, you have to understand that this is the everyman saying, fuck you, as opposed to someone larger than life saying, fuck you. And really, the everyman saying, fuck you, is what makes them into a larger than life person saying, fuck you. It's an evolutionary process. And these guys, they're on the right evolutionary track. Really like this album, guys. I have to give it my stamp of approval. I hope that one of these days I get the opportunity to come chill out with you guys in Long Island and maybe catch a show. That'd be freaking fantastic. I was just over in Asbury Park. Wished I would have had more time around the area to come up and maybe swing by. We could have had a beer or something. Who the fuck knows? But good times, man. Keep it metal. And as long as you guys are making music, I'll be around to review it. I'll see you guys.